Hey everyone, this is David here with another Electoral Vote Tracker report. Now, before I start, a couple people were asking me, hey David, why don't you try explaining how you rate the states based on if they're likely, safe, lean, or toss-up, and how you do it at the beginning of the video. So that's what I'm going to do before I begin, especially since there isn't too much activity going on this time around. As a matter of fact, I believe only one congressional district actually flipped, and 3 states actually changed their shade, you could say. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, let's talk about if I have a dark red, that means that it is a safe state, and that means that you will see it being up by 10 or more. If you see a lighter shade of red, that means it is likely, and that means that it is between 5.01 to 9.99%. A pinkish color here kind of means that it is a lean, and this is for either party as well, so here's your other versions of that. And the lean means that it is between 2.01 and 5.00%. And finally, the toss-ups, which is going to be less than 2.00%. I'm sorry, 2.00 to 5.00% for the lean. And then less than that, 1.99% or less, I am making a toss-up, and here is the blue toss-up version. All right, so knowing this, let's go ahead and go over all of the safe states first. All the safe states that we already know is going to go into the columns. We'll start with Biden, since I have Biden here at the top of my list. California, Colorado, Connecticut, the District of Columbia, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, 1st Congressional District, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, yeah, that's right, New Hampshire, Biden is still up 10.5, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, and I believe that is it for all the safe states that have not changed in the part of Biden. That's already 211 electoral votes. That is insane. Now, again, these are polls from the last 30 days or the most recent poll, and this is without any sort of bias based off of past performance. So do remember that the Republican has fared better than what the polls have indicated in 3 of the last 4 elections. At least 3 of the last 4 elections anyway. Might have been 4 of the last 5, I'm not sure. But that is true. I believe in 04, 08, and 16 they did fare better. 08 just a little bit. Obama still trampled. The only election that the Democrats actually met expectations was in 2012. Now, moving on to the safe Trump states. We have a few here. Alabama, Idaho, Indiana. Yeah, that's right. Indiana, actually, he's up 17. Kentucky, Mississippi, he's only up 10 here, so who knows, another poll might knock this over the edge to the likely column. The Nebraska at large, Nebraska Congressional District 3, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming for a total of only 68. We do have two states, well, I should say a state and a congressional district here, that should technically be considered safe, but for whatever reason, the only poll that came out are like polls where it's actually a lot closer than that, and that is Arkansas is only a 2-point lead to Trump, supposedly, and the same for Nebraska Congressional District 1. However, I cannot believe that it's only a 2-point lead there on each side. And since congressional district polls in normally safe states, especially from biased companies, are really just, they just don't really work out, I'm putting it as likely until further notice for each of them. Let's go to other likely Trump states as well. Likely Trump states are Alaska, Kansas, yeah, he's only up 7 in Kansas, up 7 in Missouri, and up 9 in Tennessee, and just barely, well, actually, we'll talk about this in a bit. I was wrong about that. This is actually a change, so spoiler there. We're going to move on now to not California. Likely Biden states here. There are a few: Michigan, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, all likely, giving him a total of 267. Moving on to the lean. There are actually no lean Trumps that have not changed, except for one. Like I said, South Carolina. I was actually going to wait for the changes here, but South Carolina is currently lean Trump. Trump is only leading by 5.0 points here. So that is the only state that is lean Trump right now. And for Biden, there are 4 lean Bidens. I put Nebraska 2 as a lean Biden instead of likely, even though he's supposedly up 7 in the last poll there, because, again, the poll is very outdated. We don't know where it is, but it seems like that's about where he is. That's kind of where Obama went as well. So we're going to go with lean Biden for now. Nevada also outdated, up 4 points. Florida, which was actually likely a couple weeks ago, likely Biden, it has fallen to lean, and also Biden is losing ground there. He was up almost 5 points. He's now up about 4 points there. And Arizona, he was up 4 points here. He is now up 3 points here. Also, I forgot to mention Montana is likely Trump as well. And now for the toss-up states. So currently, no changes to Iowa is still a toss-up state for Trump. Texas is still a toss-up state for Trump. And for Biden, Georgia is still a toss-up state for Biden, although he's actually kind of widening his lead a little bit. It's about half a point now instead of a quarter of a point. He's narrowing his lead in North Carolina to just 1 point from 2. And he is widening his lead in Ohio to 1.5 points from half a point on average. Now, let's move on to our changes. As you can see, there aren't as many, and I just forgot Delaware is also part of the safe state. How come Delaware was not on this list? I'll try to fix that next week. Don't worry about that. So let's talk about the changes here. We already talked about one. South Carolina went from likely Trump to lean Trump. That's in the Biden column. However, he did gain momentum back in Louisiana, and I can safely put that into the safe Trump column. Maine at large was safe Biden. We are now making that likely Biden. The Maine state at large currently is sitting at 9.5 for Biden, 9.5 point lead for Biden. And our flip, Maine Congressional District 2, has flipped to Trump. Trump is only up half a point, though. This could easily flip back. And also, another thing I noticed, Georgia has not flipped for the first time in several weeks. So the current total right now, with no bias, is 368 for Biden and Harris, 170 for Trump and Pence. Trump is up 1 electoral vote from last week. And I will put up the 2016 performance added map later on tonight or tomorrow. Until then, I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone.